Feel like we've been so worried so much about the pitching and the starting pitching with the Milwaukee Brewers, but lately the offense has just been, it's brutal at times to watch. Kind of a throwback to last year. I don't know what's going on there. We'll get to that coming up next. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Good to have you along here on a Tuesday night as the Brewers have dropped 2 in a row, losing in Pittsburgh by the score of 2-1. We'll get to all that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. My name is Chuck Freeman, longtime sportscaster here in the state of Wisconsin. Also, I've been doing this podcast for 2 years right now. Also, love battling people on Twitter, which I've been doing, I think, a lot for the last week or so. Bucks and Brewers. So anyway, you get us on Google, Spotify, Apple, on all the major downloads, anywhere you get your podcast platforms, anywhere your platform is for podcast, we are there. We're the number one Brewers podcast on the internet for the simple reason because you great Brewer fans out there. Even those of you guys who come at me with your avatars, hey, we're all in the same boat. We love our Milwaukee Brewer baseball team without question. And of course, this show is brought to you in part by PrizePicks. PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. Use the promo code, all lowercase, LockedOnMLB for that first deposit match up to $100. All right, coming up on the show today, we'll talk about the Brewers getting just a heck of a pitching performance. Pitching has not been the problem as of late. Certain parts of the offense are working, other parts aren't. Kind of similar to last year. And the Brewers have not been good offensively in the last week. I'll tell you about a couple of special days that are coming up this summer for Robin Yount and Ryan Braun getting their just due with the Milwaukee Brewers. Tyler Black has been ripping the cover off down at AAA. We'll get to all that coming up next year on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. All right, let's start with Tobias Myers. Now, I put up a tweet. You see this often where a guy gets called up from AAA, been with 5 or 6 or 7 different teams. Now, this is a 6th organization. You've seen this where he comes up, guy who's been around the block a little bit in the minor leagues, gets his shot, and he comes out and he does great. And this was the case with Tobias Myers tonight. Had a feeling this was going to happen because I've seen a few baseball games in my life and guys making major league debuts, and guys who supposedly were journeymen, been through surgeries and been through everything. And they come up, and that first performance, man, I don't know if it's not enough scout on them or what, but just fantastic. Now, Tobias Myers came in with having a lively fastball, we'll say. But he's been with a few different organizations, 8 seasons in the minors, bounced around, came up, got his big shot with the Brewers, and pitched 5 innings. Allowed 1 run and 4 Ks. Man, we'll take that every time. Now, a caution here. We'll see what he does going forward. But, the Brewers definitely needed that because what was the issue we've been talking about here? Pitching. How the starting pitching has been so banged up. But, I got no complaints about the starting pitching so far. As of late, it's been pretty good. Colin Ray on Sunday. They got Ross with, pitching into the 6th inning on Monday. And then this guy comes out, gives them a heck of a performance. 2-1, they lose this game. Now, Myers gives up a home run right off the bat to McCutchen. First pitch. And we're all thinking, oh no. But he bounces back and delivers a much-needed lift to this team as far as pitching is concerned. Loved everything about what he did. He was great. And, it just looked calm, composed out there. And to get 5 innings of 1-run baseball from a guy making his major league debut who's been bouncing around the minor league system, I thought that was pretty darn good. That was pretty impressive. Definitely earned it. We got no choice. We got to give him another start. Who else? Who else we got to turn to? Okay. So, but Tobias Myers definitely earned himself another start. Had he been a failure tonight, who knows if he would have got another start. See, we would have. Who knows where they would have turned to after that? But definitely deserved to get another start, and he was fantastic. Now the offense has been a different story. I don't know, because for a while they're scoring 8-9 runs a game. They were the best in baseball with runners in scoring position. Lately, with the exception of Saturday's game when they exploded for the 12 runs in St. Louis, it's been kind of bad. 2-1-0 games they won last week. Pitching was great. 2-1 loss today. 4-2 yesterday. And the 4 runs, Bowers, the first baseman, Jake Bauer, gave up allowed a couple of unearned runs there with an error on a flip to first base. So the pitching, good. Runners in scoring position, 1 through 6 in the order. First of all, 1 through 6 in the order tonight. The Brewers were 0 for 22 with that batting order. 1 through 6 went 0 for 22. With runners on base, the Brewers were 1 for 10. 1 for 10. They were 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Gary Sanchez did hit a home run in the 8th inning. I thought, okay, here we go. Watched it go. Watch that thing fly. I know some of you are down on Gary Sanchez. You want him DFA'd. Gary Sanchez can be just fine. All right. Well, we don't expect this guy to be Ted Simmons to come in here, but he's going to provide some power. Yeah. 1 year, $7 million seems a little much for the guy, but now that they got him, I think he'll have a couple of moments on this team, a couple of big moments, home runs too. He's had a couple of moments where he didn't come through, but last night, the home run to left field, thought that was going to jumpstart maybe a big inning in the 8th inning. It did not. But, he'll be just fine. But that was really the only offense for the Brewers. Bryce Terang continues to steal bases. He's 12 for 12. He's automatic getting on base right now. He's like Willie Wilson out there stealing bases. He's getting on and he's getting over. 12 for 12 stolen bases. Terang, great. Keep it up. Get the second base. Keep doing what you're doing. But offensively, I just think they're going through a little bit of a funk right now, a little bit of a slump. Nothing really, I don't think to get overly worried about. I'd be more worried about the pitching than I would be the offense, but the offense has not been good as of late. Churio did strike out 3 times, went 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. He's batting .218. But as we said with Jackson, we're going to have to live with some of that with Jackson Churio. And I'm fine with that. No need to get down on him. I don't think anybody is. But he's just, he's struggling a little bit of scuffling at the plate. And we talked about this, where pitchers and opposing pitching coaches are going to make adjustment. The more tape that comes out on a guy like Churio, teams are going to make adjustments on him. And certainly they are. Contreras took an 0 for 3. Adames took an 0 for. Hoskins walked, took an 0 for. A lot of guys. Perkins grounded the double play, took an 0 for. Just a bad day all around. Just all around for the offense. Can't give relief. Struggled a little bit. That 6th inning could have been a lot worse than it did. He got out of it where it could have been, and it looked like a couple of those balls could have been fielded. I thought Ortiz's, that ball at third base that he could have fielded. But Koenig, 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Again, not bad for a guy who's probably shouldn't be on the roster at this point. Uribe pitched 1 inning, struck out 1. But I'll take that. From those 3 guys tonight, we'll take that starting pitching. Got to be able to score more than 1 run to win a ball game, though. My goodness. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Coming up, we'll tell you about a guy who's just raking down at Nashville. Guy who's just raking, just doing well offensively. Maybe, well, I don't know. Should they give him a shot? Many thought this guy would make the team. We'll get to that coming up here in a little bit. Monopoly Go is one of the fastest downloaded games on the internet right now. It's been downloaded over 150 times. It's a great twist to the great game of Monopoly. We've all played Monopoly. This Monopoly Go, crazy locations you could have, building up amazing cities. cities that bring you big time money. You can play with friends, play against people around the world in time tournaments, win huge awards. It's really cool. They found a way to put Monopoly right here. And I love Monopoly, and I'm with Monopoly Go. If you ever chance, download this. Not now, but after I get off the show here. Monopoly Go, it's a great game. Get a chance to earn huge rewards, team up with people, and you're going to love it. Bring out your competitive self, because we all have it. But the great game of Monopoly, they found a way to put that on the phone and with Monopoly Go. Download it today. Again, 150 million people have downloaded the new Monopoly Go. We come back after this timeout here on Locked On Brewers. Welcome back to Locked On Brewers. Chuck Freeman, your host here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Tyler Black is, we talked a lot about him in the offseason, possibly playing third base, most likely first base, and then he went out and got Rhys Hoskins. And there went that. And Tyler Black started the year down at AAA, has been just raking down there, hitting well down there, especially in the last week or so. Maybe they bring him up and to try to get the offense going a little bit. Put him in the lineup. The Brewers would like to bring guys up and put them in the lineup to see if that helps generate things. And, they don't want the guy sitting on the bench. They like to put the guy right in the lineup right away. I don't know. Tyler Black doing some good things down in Nashville. Very cool to see. Baseball America says the Milwaukee Brewers have the best overall record of all their minor league teams. They have the best overall record of every major league team who's got minor league franchises. They all have minor league franchises, but of all the teams combined, all the Brewer minor league teams, the Brewers are 57-29 right now. 57-29. Back to the offense real quick. I forgot to mention this in the last segment. Tyler Korth, follow him on Twitter. Tyler Korth, Koerth. I think it's pronounced Kurth. I get that spelling pronunciation wrong. I think it's Kurth. Well, he tweeted out, and I want to give him credit. In the last 7 days, he tweeted out, the Brewers are batting .203 offensively. The OPS of 605, slugging percentage of .325, .203 batting average in the last 7 days. Definitely a lot of unders there. Brewers were a slight favorite going into this game tonight. Slight favorite. Took them and lost. Got to ride the hot hand. And, they've lost 2 in a row now. Trying to get back on track on Thursday afternoon. Or on Thursday afternoon, they have a Wednesday night game. No rain in the forecast. There was a chance of rain, but I seen the rain is not going to be hitting Pittsburgh. Robin Yount and Ryan Braun are going to get their just due this summer from the Brewer organization. Ryan Braun is going to get his Walk of Fame out there in left field, and deservedly so. I know some people haven't got over what happened in 2011. Okay. We're not going to go down that road of what Braun did and told a lie and, threw somebody under the bus. But, did Braun go out and have a Hall of Fame career? No. But he definitely had a career worth honoring, at least with his name on the Walk of Fame out there in left field. Now, does he deserve to have his jersey retired? He doesn't deserve to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I think at one point it looked like he was on his way. If you had asked me in 2011 during that season, is he a future Hall of Famer? It sure looked like it. He put up some good numbers. He put up some really good numbers in his career. Not great, although he seemed to always come up big in postseason and big moments. Ryan Braun always seemed to come up with some big moments. You think of, a big home run in St. Louis in 2018, playoff games, big RBI base hits. We know what he did in 2011, the big home run there, clincher in 2008. Ryan Braun, some of you still down on Ryan Braun, got to get over it. Deserves to be in the Walk of Fame. Good for him. And you know what? As far as always dealing with the media, he was always really good. I'll say that. And sometimes I throw that in here, how good of a guy he is. Always win or lose, was a stand-up guy in front of his locker after games. Did not go and hide in the locker room, in the trainer's room, which a lot of players will do. Not a lot of players, but some players will do, which is off limits to the media. They go back and hide back there, and you never can talk to them, or they sneak out the back door. Ryan Braun has never been that guy. Brewers are also honoring Robin Yount. Robin Yount, who 50 years ago this year debuted in 1974 as a rookie with the Milwaukee Brewers. Debuted. And if you would have told me in 74 and 75 and 76 and 77, his first 4 years in the league, is Robin a Hall of Famer? I would have said absolutely not. He was absolutely not his first 4 years. Look at his numbers. He was not a Hall of Famer. But then Robin starts to kick it into gear. He starts hitting the weight room because teammates were teasing him. I think it was Gorman Thomas who teased him about having warning track power. And in 1982, Robin comes out and hits 29 home runs and becomes the MVP. Wins the MVP again in 1989. All those numbers in 89, nothing compared to what they were in 82. But Robin Yount, Hall of Famer. First 4 years, I would say definitely not Hall of Fame numbers, but he turned it around, played 20 years with the franchise. They're honoring him once again, and almost quit baseball in 1978 to take up a golf career. I don't know if some of you knew that. Remember, he held out, was unhappy with his contract status in 1978. That allowed Paul Molitor to come up and play some shortstop because Robin came up as a shortstop. Molitor was great, and then after Yount, about a few weeks into the season, agreed to a deal with the Brewers. Molitor moved to second base, and Molitor and Yount were 1-2 in the lineup, and that led to many, many great things. But Robin Yount, 50 years ago, the kid, as Bob Uecker named him, the kid, Robin Yount, still the kid, 68 years old, Robin Yount. But yeah, who did not love Robin Yount growing up as a kid? Who did not love Robin Yount? I was a Molitor guy, but Yount was a close second. Rocket Robin, another name that nickname that Bob Uecker gave Robin Yount back in the day. The Kid and Rocket Robin. But Robin Yount, that's going to be, I believe, in August. He's going to get his due by the Milwaukee Brewers. They're going to honor 50 years ago that he was a rookie. Coming up as an 18-year-older, that was something back in 1974. Born in Danville, Illinois, I believe. All right, we come back. We'll look ahead to Wednesday's matchup to see how the Brewers can snap out of this. That's all coming up next. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Coming up on Locked On Brewers on Thursday's show, we'll preview Thursday's game. We'll recap Wednesday night's game. Hopefully the Brewers will get the bats going Wednesday. That's all coming up tomorrow night, late Wednesday night. We'll be dropping the podcast. Show is brought to you in part by PrizePicks. PrizePicks, maybe if you are looking at the Brewers right now and you see a couple of guys who might snap out of it offensively, you might want to take them and couple them up a little bit, and you could win up to 100 times your money with PrizePicks. You and the world's best players take the game to a new level in basketball as well. Playoffs are underway. PrizePicks has everything for every sports fan, from baseball to basketball to League of Legends, everything in between. High or low you can go on their statistics, and you could team them up. PrizePicks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account for the basketball season and so forth. Download the app today. Use the promo code LOCKDOWNMLB for that first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app PrizePicks. Use the promo code LOCKDOWNMLB for our first deposit match up to $100. And I downloaded it, and I won. God, who did I have last week? I put two together. I put two in the NBA. It was Bogdanovich with Atlanta. I had the over on him, and then Trae Young, I had the under. Cashed in on PrizePicks. Do it right now. Go to PrizePicks. Download the app on PrizePicks. Use the promo code LOCKDOWNMLB. First deposit match up to $100. The show is also brought to you by DoorDash, man, is there a better invention these days than DoorDash? I mean, there's a lot of great ones out there, but DoorDash, 50% off your next order, up to $15 when you spend 15 or more dollars on your next flour, convenience, grocery, or retail order now on DoorDash. 50% off, up to $15 when you spend $15 or more. Really cool. You know what? Mother's Day is coming up. You can take advantage of here. Get all your Mother's Day's gifts all at one place. 50% off your next order, up to $15. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB with DoorDash. We use DoorDash for food, but you could use it for a variety of different things. And right now, take advantage of this. Again, that DoorDash owner, $15, up to $15 when you spend $15 or more on a convenience, grocery, or retail order, flour, or whatever. Terms do apply. DoorDash. Hey, man, having that delivery come to your house, when that guy pulls up with your DoorDash merchandise or food or whatever it is, man, it's a good thing. In the grocery store, get some salsa for some chips and salsa on a Saturday night. You don't want to go for a Brewer game. DoorDash is the way to go. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. We're coming right back. Welcome back to Locked On Brewers. Chuck Freeman here, Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Now, I've seen a couple of different starters going for Pittsburgh. Quinn Priester and Josh Fleming. I've seen two different sites have those names mentioned for the Pirates. I've seen also TBA for the Brewers. Some sites I've seen Bryce Wilson. There's a site I've seen out there that said Freddie Peralta, but Freddie, I believe, is pitching on Thursday. So the probables with all the TBAs the Brewers have had lately are all messed up. But right now, it's either Priester or Fleming for Pittsburgh. And I would say likely Bryce Wilson is going on Wednesday. Today, the Brewers did not, on Tuesday, the Brewers did not know, nobody knew who the starting pitcher was until 3 hours before game time. When Pat Murphy meets with the media and he was asked, oh, by the way, Pat, who's starting today? Tobias Myers will be the first one out of the chute. So Tobias Myers was a starter. And tomorrow, I assume it's Bryce Wilson, who pitched 3 solid innings last Wednesday against the Padres in a shutout with 5 different relievers, led by Bryce Wilson, winning over the Padres. So Brewers have to get back in the win column. They're 14-8, 2-game losing streak. Their season high is 3 games, which they'll match if they lose tomorrow. Not like the Pittsburgh is just batting the ball around here. I mean, the Pirates came in on a 6-game skid when the Brewers went into Pittsburgh, and all of a sudden the Pirates are, snuck out 2 wins. Again, timely hits. McCutchen hits that home run in the first inning, and you're thinking that this could be a long day for Tobias Myers, but he gave them everything which you could hope for. 5 innings, 1 run, 4 Ks. But 0 for 22. The Brewers were 1 through 6 in the batting order. That's not going to get it done against anybody. All right, Locked On Brewers. By the way, you can get me on Twitter. You want to fight with me on Twitter? If you want to call me names on Twitter, don't do that. But if you want to go back and forth and talk about a few things with the Brewers, please hit me up. Chuck Freeman, Freimund, Freimund. I try to be objective about the Milwaukee Brewers. I do. And some people think, oh, that comes across as negative. Boy, you're negative about the team because I'm talking about the pitching or the offense or the team going 0 for 22 in the front part of the order. No, it's not being negative. It's just basically telling facts and being objective and trying to get this team what we like to think is better. Nothing wrong with that. Not everything is, what does Tim Allen always say? Sunshine and balloons. I think that's what he always says. Tim and I have yet to hook up on a podcast. He is going to make an appearance on this podcast soon. I have not made an appearance on his post-game show in a while, but that is certainly going to happen. And by the way, if you want to hear me on state radio, I'm on the Bill Michaels show Tuesdays at 11:30. That's statewide. Lacrosse, John Papadopoulos on his show on Mondays at 4:30 in Lacrosse. So, and a few more looking to add hits where I talk Brewer baseball on there as well. So 5:40 early start. Love these early starts. 5:40. Love these early starts. If it was up to me, every Brewer game at AmFam Field would start at 6 o'clock, so, except for the midweek afternoon games. Saturday nights start them at 7 o'clock, so you can get some stuff done, play a little golf, and then go to a Brewer game. But during the week, hey, I'm cool. 6 o'clock, if you could roll in after work and get there. We all can get to our golf leagues at 5 o'clock. We can get to a Brewer game by 6 o'clock as well. I love it. Started at 6. Brewer games early in the year started at 6:40. Then they moved to 7 to 10. Start them all at 6 o'clock. 5:40, though, I love it in Pittsburgh. 5:40 with that first pitch again tomorrow night. We'll be here after the show, after the game, with our show. This is Chuck Freeman, Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Good night, everybody.